You can see just how majestic and truly real life it is out here. And it's not the most desolate, it's not the prettiest. There's the sun. I've been talking to him before I was talking to the camera. The sky above, and I. My name is Tyler. Last name may or may not matter. I mean, in this context, of course it matters. That's my surname. And I just want to say I love this country and I know what it's coming to. It's been a good run as far as I know. We all pray for better days, but here in a few days, hopefully it'll, start turning around for us. We can never count on days. The Lord doesn't work in days. His days are lifetimes and lifetimes and generations, thousands of years, thousands of generations. Our lifetime is less than the blink of an eye for the good Lord, but we are all cogs in His machine. Unless you're a cog in whatever the Slimers and some call it a swamp. No. A swamp is a good thing. If I remember correctly, when there's rain on the earth, typically makes it soggy, makes a lot of the ground weak, especially if it's around an open river and a little lake. You're gonna get these swamp areas, and of course you're gonna have crocodiles. You gotta have your, you're good and the bad. It's all gotta work together and coincide, and it's all about that cohabitation, right? Deer have to eat, pheasant have to eat, ox have to eat, humans have to eat. But there's a predatory class about us, all right? And a lot of the folks listening to this probably aren't in that club. But I do believe that the good Lord brings us to where we need to be. Whether that's with nature. Sometimes we have to taste the city, wouldn't say it's a big city, but it's in Ohio. Just got me a different perspective on how stacked up people can be and what it does to folks. We live in a society nowadays, and I'm guilty of it myself. I live in an apartment complex. I don't talk to my neighbors. It's just because I know that we're on different wavelengths. And we all have different callings. And a lot of us aren't built the same. And, if the good Lord's pushing it away and you know the voice, and if you don't know the voice, you've got to do your own research to how to hear that voice and how to detox yourself. And, it's, we're living under a lie. And so getting vitamin D and your essential nutrients. Currently about 10:14 a.m. Supposed to be at work today. I've got a phone interview at 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. excuse me, with the work I'm looking to get with cannabis cultivation. You know, I'm not going to say it's going to be a lackluster thing, but I need something. It's I've had multiple, landscaping jobs, construction jobs. I'm not afraid of hard work, but my body and I'm strengthening my mind. I tweaked my back. Not to sound like a loony or anything, but I tweaked my back there, and not that would make me sound like a loon, but with the recent events, who knows what would happen. But so a couple years ago, we were working on building this chapel for weddings and such, and so we were building the outside skeleton of it. Lumbar support. Speaking of lumbar, but so I tweaked my lower back there. Just I was moving it. I was getting it online. Just it's probably. Each side of the wall was about 12 feet. So, 24 feet. So this is the entrance way. So you had about, 2x4s that, 2x4s that were, 2x8s. Shit. No, they're 2x4s. Anyway, so you had the outside fucking. Oh, it'll come to me. Anyway, I'll just edit this part out, I guess. But, so, it was. Fuck, it'll come to me. Just want to say, Jesus loves you. It's a hard road. And, you'll go through ups and downs, your lefts and your rights. You just have to go to him. First seek Jesus into the kingdom of God. And he'll lead you on your way. He's leading me on my way. I don't know what that holds, but I'd trust in him. That's what faith's all about. Trusting in the Lord, And, Matthew 20 through 24, on to 26, on to chapter 26, it all speaks about, you don't want to worry about the future, or, somebody were to take thine goods, and you don't want to fret over it, but eventually there would be a day, everybody gets that itch in their ass, to go and see what you're all about, especially if you make a name for yourself or you develop a following in the company or in the area that you live. You got the flashy car, you got the new rooms. People are going to take interest and they're going to want to go see what's inside your shit. And just to paraphrase roughly, about the tyranny and shit that, it's in the Bible and Jesus talks about to Matthew and everyone, but and John as well, of course, to John. But I think everything comes and goes. I don't believe Nero was the emperor at the time of Jesus Christ's crucifixion. So that means we're not in the end game yet. It just looks like it and feels like it. But this is the ascension. We have to go through these ebbs and flows. Right? These ups and these downs through the consciousness and throughout this world, we've been sold a lot of lies, domestically, foreign, You know, I enlisted in the Air Force when I was 17. I didn't go very far, to be honest with you. I was only in for 6 months. It was aircraft structural maintenance. My job was, like it such, I was supposed to be just, putting together airplanes, fixing holes, going over it after they land, chalking it up, whatnot. And I just couldn't rivet to save my life. I was good at the test, I knew the knowledge portion of it, just the application of it, just fabrication doesn't seem like it would be my thing. And then I go to do the job with landscaping and at the church, at the wedding venue. Beautiful job, loved it. Got to meet a whole lot of interesting people, to work with, and funniest folks you ever meet. And then, I was working with my dad a little bit, doing remodel on the downstairs for a lady. That was okay, it wasn't horrible. And this is right around 2020 or so. And then 2021, January, Joseph Biden is elected president of the United States. And so we kind of drift off of that job because the money isn't coming in like it was due to the lady we were working with. Her husband was getting VA benefits, and he'd been a Vietnam veteran, so he fucking earned them. But they sliced him a little bit, so I was the odd man out. It's all good, it's all fair. So then, pick up odd jobs here and there. I was working at a toll booth for a little bit here in southern West Virginia. If you know the toll, it's a fucking good one. It's a fucking good one. Right as you're getting out or as you're coming up. All right, you know what it is. But yeah, I worked there for a little bit. Really wasn't my thing. A lot more brain power than I was accustomed to. I graduated from military school. Mathematics was not my strong suit, although, not a dummy, but long math and trigonometry and calculus to a large degree, wasn't really my thing. No, I just wasn't good at it. Didn't strike me as what I was going to be doing. And it wasn't, Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, standard. You need that to understand square. Or a perimeter, or your area. That shit's good. Your geometry is good. A lot of it's fucking horseshit compared to how our ancestors understood it. I believe there's sacred geometry. Even these trees here aren't perfect. As you notice, it's wider at the bottom, shorter at the top. That is not natural. It's absolutely natural. But in our form of it, we would call that like a cylindrical triangle, correct? No, that's just a tree. And all the limbs carry the same characteristic. Some of them have bulbs on them there. Some of them don't. But the closer they are to the bottom, the more water they get. That's why I'm interested in this job I'm about to hopefully get. I have an interview at 12. It's fun. I just want to say, hope the Lord puts you on the path that you're supposed to be on. And in my job, I love talking to the people. Here, at this job, I'll be talking to plants. But hopefully, hopefully the guy seems cool. I haven't talked to him at all. This is all maybe premature. I could be screwing the fucking pooch on this. But I know the good Lord loves me, and I love the good Lord, and I believe this is what He's wanting me to do. You know, some folks go up to be UFC fighters. Some folks go up to be bankers. Some people are born into banking. Some folks are meant to do triathlons. You know, do 1 trillion push-ups in a month. Everybody's built different. You know, I'm not a very tall fella. You know, I'm not a very short fella. Not a very long fella. Not a very, you know, muscular fella. But, you know, certainly toned. You know, I don't have a belly on me. I mean, even though I have belly problems just because of probably the food that we were eating, and it's just, but I'm rebuilding it. You know, it takes time. You know, and this is the most walking that I do most of the time, and this is the first time I've done it in a while. And last time I went on a walk like this, I just left my phone because I'm connected to it all the time. I needed to break away, and I know it's harmful. You know, the radiation coming off. I've got a Shungite little sticker thing on the back of my case. I can definitely tell you a difference. It's you don't wake up as parched, you know, so that means it's at least doing something for you. You know, because I think this bad energy that we're about and around, I think it really is messing with us molecularly, and our etymology just isn't made for these microwaves. That's what they are. 2.4 gigahertz frequency is essentially a microwave. I'm not a scientist or anything, but I have seen the research and even the TV. You know, it's designed to make you stupid. At least to make you turn off your cognitive higher thinking. You know, the color scheme that they use, you know, the frame rates. They'll slide shit in between the shit that you can't see, so your your subconscious is getting a whole other movie. You know, folks talk about it all the time. You know, I watch, you know, Paranoid American. You know, I watch Sammy T. You know, Tinfoil. You know, I'm a little of the fool. You know, but I do my own research, and that's why I watch those fellas, because they bring on folks that just come on with some crazy shit, and you know, and just being on the inside, you know, and they just say what it's really about. I believe that we've been under a spell, and the more we do to break this spell and, you know, be spellbound by the Lord of God, you know, every time I pick up the Bible, you know, and I have the intent to learn something new, it brings me back to, like, the other day I was looking at Exodus 11, chapter 11 through 21, verse 23 or 25, I believe. I don't believe I might have gotten to 2024. And I can't recall any of it besides, you know, Moses breaking his people out of Egypt, and, you know, the Lord telling them that there would be, you know, so many plagues, and, you know, the Pharaoh just got hearkened by it. He just hardened them, and he wouldn't release the Israelites, you know. So he'd send the locusts, you know, and the famines, and, you know, all of this before the people of Egypt. And eventually, I believe, you know, one of the last things he did is he gave his people great golds and silvers. You know, he made the Israelites rich. Take that, you know, how you feel, you know. I believe that there's Babylonian money magic out there. And that's what our fucking funny money is about. That's why it has the all-seeing eye on it. And that's why it's got all these different the symbols, the eagle, that dates back to Rome, probably before that. Notice there's never been a lion or, anything like that. It's got to be an eagle, something that strikes on an unsuspecting target. An eagle's a beautiful creature, but not I'd love to keep one as a pet. It's just, I don't know. Just different symbols there. And it's just, we've been taught wrong about everything. And, we all ramble once in a while, and there's a lot of that going on. Maybe this is what Babylon's all about. Babbling on, on this fucking interwebs. And maybe the Tower of Babel is this AI, this AGI, this fucking computer technological god that just knows everything. Google isn't enough. We'll have this motherfucker telling us everything. How is that going to impact our evolution? I don't believe we necessarily, I don't know, I think we've been just modified. I think we've been suppressed. I think we have to get back to our roots. We have to go back to nature. It's cold as fuck out right now. But my body, I can tell that it's warming itself up. My fingers don't have gloves on. It's not something I'm necessarily accustomed to. And I don't know. But maybe I'll put something over the screen or something so you're not seeing me. But I think I'm a sexy motherfucker. I don't care who you are. Just putting that out there. I have a son. His name's Conan. Like the Barbarian or the O'Brien. I chose that name because of the Barbarian. His mother chose it because of this talk show host. One of the better names out there. I'll tell you that right now. Not everything is meant to be. There's a song out there by Hobson. It's called Ill Mind of Hobson 5 or 8. At the very end of it says, change is supposed to happen. We look at our friends, our jobs, the place we live, and we become comfortable where we are. But not every provision is supposed to be permanent. Not every blessing is supposed to last forever. Is God speaking into your life? Because what worked 5 years ago will not work today, may not work today. So you have to be willing to change. And if you aren't willing to change, you're going to come over challenges and you won't be where you need to be, so discipline has been, it's been more taboo than porn. Discipline has, we look at folks like Joe Rogan or even, I know